Hello guys, my name is Miroslava and I am the Metaphysical Chick. So today I wanted to talk about my starseed journey. One of the things that I want to do, one of the intentions for even creating this channel is to empower starseeds, empower the divine feminine energy as well as the divine masculine energy, because a lot of us find it very difficult to exist, to live in this physical reality. It's so dense, the energy, and so we are having to adjust to our bodies and to adjust our minds and our hearts to work in balance. And so I just really wanted to create this space, this sacred space, to share my own experiences in hopes that maybe they inspire you or they help you in any way. And if you do have any questions or if you want to connect with me, I do have my social media linked in the description box as well as my website. And so I would love to connect with you. And yeah, so let's be friends. We're all in this together. So since I was a very little girl, I was always very connected to the universe, to the stars, to the planets. I actually wanted to be an astronomer because I loved learning about the universe. I loved about the mysteries, of the planets and the stars, and I loved aliens. My dad, he is actually very into aliens, and so when I was very little, I remember he took me to a conference that this Mexican alien researcher did, Jaime Maussan. And so he showed videos and he was talking about these crazy things, and I was just blown away and I just wanted to know more. And I've also always been connected to like the spirit world. I when I was little, I didn't really understand, and so it was all like a game to me sometimes. I would play with my friends and I would be talking about spirits and scary things, but I didn't really understand to the extent that I was actually experiencing this. So to me it was just oh, it's just my imagination, it's not real. But it was very powerful because that was just the beginning. And now that I look back, when I was very young, and this is something, it's gonna get a little dark because we're just diving into it. So when I was a little girl, I was maybe 5-6 years old. I was very little. I remember that I wanted to kill myself. I always felt like I was adopted. I didn't feel like I belonged in the family. And my family was very supportive. I had very supportive parents, and the siblings, there's always it's always like cats and dogs, right? But it was a very normal family, and it was very loving and very supportive. And so I didn't understand why, but I just wanted to kill myself. I felt so out of place in my family, in this world. And I was very little. I was, like I said, 5-6 years old. And so I remember one day I was in the bathroom and I saw a knife. Why was there a knife in the bathroom? No idea, but there was a knife. And so I grabbed the knife and I was thinking, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna stab myself. But before I do it, I'm gonna just try a little bit here in my arm just to see if it hurts. Just to see how bad it hurts. And so I tried putting the knife through, not through, but stabbing my arm just a little bit, not completely. And I did just a little bit and I was like, oh hell no. Oh hell no, that's gonna hurt. And then like I said, I was raised a Catholic, and so I always heard that if you kill yourself, you go to hell. And so I didn't do it. And I didn't kill myself because I didn't want to go to hell. And so now that I look back, I understand that the reason I didn't want to be in this world is because I've never experienced such a low density environment, such a low density energy. And I was having to accustom to get used to this body, to the energy of this planet, to the people around me. And that was so fucking insane. It was just so hard for me to understand, because when we come into this world, we forget everything. And so that was very confusing to me. And I was, when I was very little, I wasn't unhappy. It was just this subconscious, or like this feeling of just not belonging, which was so crazy. And then time passed and time went by, and I started to really feel very depressed because I am a bigger girl, and so we see in society that in order to be beautiful we have to look a specific way, and we have to be a specific way, have a specific personality. And that to me was very hard, it was very difficult. And then once I actually started learning about spirituality and about meditation, that's when I began to connect the dots, and I began to have memories and to remember. And so I remember one day I was just browsing through the internet, and I came across, I don't know if it was an article or if it was a YouTube video, but it was someone talking about aliens and about starseeds and lightworkers, and they mentioned the alien race Pleiadians. And when I saw that, I felt this like this fuck, wow, like there's something here, like why do I feel this connection, why do I feel this in my heart? And so that's when I really started getting into this, and I started learning and researching about Pleiadians, like what is that, what alien race is that, like is that even real? And then I began to watch videos of like Bridget Nielsen, like she just, when I started listening to her videos, it was like, whoa, like this whole new world opened up, and about hybrid children, and about just being starseeds, and just connecting to like Mother Earth, and to connecting to the cosmos, and everything was just like, whoa. And then I've also watched other YouTubers, but I feel like Bridget was the one that really I connected with the most, because I feel like my energy is very similar to hers, so I love her. And so now I was conscious, I was aware of what is possible, what existed, of what else is out there. And that's when I started really doing meditations to remember, like past life regressions. And you can find a lot of those on YouTube, and they are very powerful. Like I was very surprised that I didn't have to be with someone that actually does that in person. And so I remember the first past life regression that I did, and it took me several times to get to this point, but the first time I actually was able to remember, I was in this huge field of like yellow grass, and I remember walking, and I was this Native American woman, and I had long black hair, so beautiful, and I was wearing like the clothes that Native American women wore like in the past. And so I remember just walking, and I could see like the village, or like, I don't know how you call it, but like I could see like the teepees and I could see like this like village of like people. And so I was walking towards it, and I could see at a distance this man, and to me it felt like he was the chief of the village. That he was the chief. And so I was walking towards him. As I got closer, he opened up his arms, and he gave me a hug, and it was like this beautiful embrace, and he was so loving and so nurturing, and he was like, welcome home, like you are back. And I was like, fuck, what the fuck is this? And so I was so overwhelmed with so much joy and so much love. And then I remember he talked to me, he said something, but I don't remember what he said. And I remember once we stopped talking, we both looked to like in front of us, like to the sky, and he pointed out and he said, you come from the stars. And I do know that a lot of starseeds, when they do experience these past life regressions, like they are told you come from the stars by, you know, other beings, or just their ancestors, or just whatever lineage you come into. And so that's what I felt. And so in that moment I was like, oh my god, it was a lot of validation of what I was feeling, because this connection that I felt with the Pleiadians was so strong. And so when I heard that, it was like, oh my god, that's so fucking beautiful. And then later I was watching a video, and I heard I don't remember what video that was, but I heard that Pleiadians had a very close connection to Native Americans, that they would come into their village and they would talk to them and give them wisdom. And so that blew my mind because I was a Native American woman and I remember that clearly, and I was told that I came from the stars, and so that was just so fucking crazy. So in a past life, I was a Native American woman and I came from the Pleiades. So that's what I got from that. And then later I just started to have even more memories. And I remember one day I was meditating and I had this vision, and I remember this very clearly, and I shared this in the past, and I wasn't ready to actually be open up about this because people weren't agreeing, and people were like telling me that I was very narcissistic and I was speaking from ego, and that really got to me. And so when that happened, when I shared this experience, I completely shut down everything, and I was like, maybe they are right. Maybe what I see and what I'm feeling is not true, and it's just me wanting to belong to something, wanting to be part of something bigger. And so I completely shut down my spiritual gifts and I stopped meditating for months, but I'm back now, as you can see. And so I had this memory, and I was in the Pleiades. I believe it was in the Pleiades, and there was this huge meeting, this galactic meeting. There were a lot of beings from different races, from different star systems, and I remember there was like this huge table thing, this huge table, and there were like the leaders, I guess, were kind of like sitting down in the table, and then we were all talking, and it was like, we have to go to Earth, we have to do something, we have to actually become one with Earth to change whatever or everything that is going on there. Like, we can't just keep looking and not doing anything. And if you know about this, like the laws of the universe, you can't actually interfere if you're not from the planet itself. And so we had to become one of Earth to actually do something and to actually raise the vibration and help the people. And so we were there, and I remember, like I said, there was a lot of beings from a lot of star systems. There were a lot of Pleiadians there, and I was there, and I was told, and you know, they were telling like each person like that they had to come to the Earth. And when it came to my point, when they like told me, I was like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this, like shit. And so I was very hesitant to actually come to Earth and become one of Earth. And I was told that I had to do it, that what I did in the Pleiades was something that would actually help being one of Earth. And so I was like, you know what, okay, whatever, I'll fucking do it, shit. And so I'm here now. And that's a very powerful memory because I remember this very clearly, and I remember just the energy that I felt, and it was like, wow, like this is the moment I made the choice to come here to assist the planet. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you were there, so if you have any memories of this or something close to this, similar of this galactic meeting, like please let me know in the comments. I want to know that I'm not the only one having these experiences. So that would be very beautiful and amazing. And so that's another memory that I had about me being a Pleiadian being. But I know for sure that we are not just Pleiadian, like we are one with every single star race that is out there. We've been everywhere, and also, and if you haven't, your soul hasn't actually experienced life in those other star systems, we are part of the same consciousness. And so we can connect with them, we can learn from them because they are us. They are us. And so that has been so beautiful because I know that I haven't been in like all the star systems, but I know that I can connect to that energy and that I can just learn from their wisdom and utilize it in this physical reality to create something beautiful. Because that's what we're here to do. And at the end of the day, it's not about us being Pleiadians or being Arcturians or being Syrians or being, lion beings. It's about being human. And what means to be human is that we anchor the energy that we receive from the galactics into this reality, into this physical plane, to actually raise the vibration. And that, and that's gonna take me into the next phase of my life. This next phase of my life is, at the beginning, we are bombarded with so much galactic information, and we are starting to learn about different star systems and different galactic beings, and we're so excited because that's, it's something completely new to us in this physical reality, because we already know them, right? And so that was amazing. And then there came a time in which I wasn't receiving any messages or any information from Pleiadians or from just galactic beings in general, and that was very confusing to me. I was like, was that all? Did I make everything up? Is that all like an illusion that I created in my head? Because I just wanted to like be part of something bigger. And that's when I was really triggered and I was guided to just focus on myself and to actually anchor the light codes that I had already received from that connection that I had with Pleiadians and with the galactics into this physical reality. And this also happened during a time that I met my twin flame, and that just shook me up. And it was like, fuck, like I don't even know what is real anymore. I was so confused because, like there's this side of me that is like alien, and then there's this side of me that is human, and I didn't really know how to balance those energies. And so what I had to do is really do a lot of healing within myself, and there was a lot of ancestral healing that I had to do. I had to heal the feminine energy within my lineage, because a lot of the blockages that I had within this physical reality weren't even mine. A lot of the energy wasn't even mine, and I realized this from the very beginning, but I didn't know how. I didn't know what to do, and it was very confusing too, because I was like, I haven't done anything. Like I literally I literally haven't done anything this lifetime. Like I've been a very shy girl since I was very young, and I've never been in a relationship, so there's no karma that I created with other people. There's no karma that I created by being like, I mean, there's been a few conflicts with other people, but it's nothing major, so I don't think I hadn't experienced shit. So why was I dealing with all this energy and with all this like resentment and this just frustration and pain and sadness? And I was so confused. And so that's when I really started to come back to myself and come back to my body. And that's when I started to do a lot of healing. And this is when shit gets real. This is when shit gets real, because it's very hard. And we have to really disconnect a little bit in a way from the galactics and from the universe. They're always going to be there, but they're going to be they're going to take a step back per se to let us do the work within this physical reality. They gave us the memories, they allowed us, they helped us remember who we are, and now they're taking a step back to let us do the work. They believe in us, and they know that we can do it. And you can do it. They know you can do it. And so this was a journey of becoming human, from starseed to human. It is about embodying our humanity and really becoming one with Earth. Because at the beginning, we're so disconnected from the planet, because we know that we don't belong here, that we come from the stars. But at the same time, like, we came here to change the world. We came here to help the Earth raise the vibration and raise the vibration of the people as well. And so we cannot do this if we are so disconnected from this world, from Mother, from Gaia. And so I was a hermit. And I didn't do shit. Like, I wasn't doing shit at the beginning, but this time I was like doing shit, like no fucking thing. And so that's when I quit my job, because I had, just a regular job. But I was guided, and things, and this is another thing, things will begin to happen in your life, and they will leave you with no choice but to do what the universe wants you to do, and the universe knows best. So I'm just gonna put that out there. But there was a lot of resistance, and I know that if things hadn't actually happened the way they did, I would probably still be at that job, so like traumatized by the past energy of my ancestors and all of that shit. So thank you, universe. Thank you. And so I'm very grateful, and you know, I'm smiling now and I'm laughing, but it wasn't funny then. Shit, it was so hard. It was so hard, and there were days that I was just in my room and no one understood why I was acting the way I did. But you know, it doesn't matter if people don't understand. As long as you know your truth and you're doing what your soul is asking you to do, then you're good. You're good. But anyways, there were days I was just in my room and crying my eyes out, and a lot of the times I didn't even know what I was crying. There was just so much emotion that was stuck and that had to be released. And so I had to work through all those emotions of sadness, frustration, anger, pain, and I had to open up my heart. And that's when, you know, I began to fully awaken. That's when the full awakening happened, when I was able to integrate the information that I have from the galactics into this physical body, anchoring that into the planet and really opening up my heart. You know, we have a lot of chakra, a lot of energetic systems, a lot of chakras, but the heart is the main thing, you know, because the heart keeps us connected to the galactics, to the universe, and also keeps us grounded within this physical reality. And so it is the midpoint, you know. And so that was very beautiful, but it was such a difficult journey. It was so hard. And actually, now that I look back at it, it's like, wow, a lot happens in 1 year. Now I understand that I'm not just Pleiadian. I am part of every being inhabiting this universe. I am one with that consciousness that we all come from. And so I am Arcturian, I am Syrian, I am Andromedan, I am everything. I am God. I'm a fucking goddess. And so that's so beautiful, and that's what happens when we really align our energies and really open up our hearts, is that we know the truth, and we see everything the way it is. And there's no more lies, there's no more veils of illusion. We see right through everything. And that can be very hard also as a starseed, because a lot of us are empaths, and we get empaths. And so we feel energy more than other people, and it can be very difficult for us to manage and to just live normal lives. But I mean, again, like, what is normal? Like, what is normal? And so if I could give you a message, that message would be to connect to the earth. We are star beings. We come from the stars. We've been in a lot of star systems around the universe. We are one with those beings. But we are human. This lifetime, we chose to be human. And we cannot do our job, we cannot fulfill our mission unless we become one with Earth. And so ground yourself, really spend time in nature, and soak up the energy of the sun, and connect to the moon, connect to the cycles of nature, connect to the animals, and really just love. You know, love is the energy that we are here to embody. And that doesn't mean that you're gonna let other people do whatever they want with you. No, we're gonna set boundaries. Like, we know who we are, we know our value, we know we are worthy of the best. And so that's just so fucking beautiful. And I just want to empower starseeds, empower the divine feminine energy or the divine masculine energy to be fully themselves, to not be afraid to share who you are. Because, you know, I know it's so difficult to talk about this with people, or, you know, just to open up. What I did is I opened up on social media. Like, I didn't actually talk to my family. I talked to a few friends, but I wasn't really opened with them. And so I opened up on social media, and I was like, you know what, fuck this. I am a starseed. I am not from this planet. You probably know that because I'm fucking weird, but they probably already know that with you too. So it's just like, you know, we're coming out of this spiritual closet in some way, and it's hard because we're so afraid, but you know, that fear is coming from our ego. It's not real. And so what I've experienced is that by me opening up and sharing who I am, and I've been able to find my soul tribe and to really connect with people that feel the same way I do. And that's been so beautiful because I never had that. You know, I never had people in my life that actually understood what I was talking about. And so by opening up and really connecting to other beings that are on this same mission, it was like, oh my God, fuck, yes! And so we are stepping into 2020, and this is the energy. We are connecting to souls that are aligned with our soul purpose, that are on that same collective consciousness. And so that is so beautiful. And I just want to let you know that I am here for you, and that let's connect, let's be friends, and let's share experiences so that we don't feel so alone, because I know it is very lonely at the beginning, but once we are open, we enjoy being alone. Actually, I enjoy time alone. Like I go out in nature by myself, and I just lay in the ground, or I hug trees, and I'm like, fuck yes, life can't get better than this shit. And so it's so fucking beautiful, and I want you to feel the same way. Like, I really want you to feel the love and to feel this expansion, this growth within your soul. And yeah, so again, I will leave my social media in the description box, my website. Let's connect, let's be friends, let's just keep expanding together, because we are in this together. This mission is not something that we have to do on our own. We can do it together. We're changing the world as a collective. And so thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being so courageous, and for being here, for not having given up, because at the beginning I wanted to give up and I wanted to leave this world. And I know that this is probably something that you feel too. I know that you're not alone, and there's star beings with us every step of the way. We have a lot of spirit guides with us. We have beautiful Ascended Master Yeshua, and then for the Divine Feminine energy, we have Mary Magdalene. We have different goddess archetypes that we can tap into, that we can connect with. And I just want to be the bridge between these two realities. You know, we have the earth that is fading, that is no longer gonna be part of our experience, and then we have this beautiful new earth that is so expansive and so beautiful. And so I want to be able to take you into this new beautiful earth, this new beautiful world, this new beautiful reality. So I will be sharing a lot more content. I'm just getting started. I'm getting comfortable. I'm just, you know, like starting to connect with those creative juices to really be more open with everyone. And so if you have any questions, you can just leave a comment. You can contact me. Like I said, the links are in the description box. And yeah, so I am here to empower all starseeds, to inspire you. I am here to empower the Divine Feminine energy, the goddess. I am here also to empower the Divine Masculine energy. And so, yeah, let's do this. Fuck yes!